Hi, my name is Leah Lennox, and I am with Chess Vets today to present how to notate your chess games. Notating your chess games allows you to accurately analyze, remember, and replay your chess games. It also might be a requirement if you play in a chess tournament. Learning to read notation will allow you to study and learn from your experienced players, as long as they have used the algebraic method. If you are physically challenged and unable to move the chess pieces yourself, you can easily communicate with others to move your pieces. Note, the person moving your pieces must know the algebraic notation method as well. Chess notation has become very simple and accurate with the usage of algebraic notation. We will only cover this method in this presentation. Older chess manuals use other notation methods. If you are a serious chess student, you should learn to read them as well. The king, notated with a capital K. The queen, notated with a capital Q. The rook, notated with a capital R. The bishop, notated with a capital B. The knight, notated with a capital N. Note that the king has already claimed the K for himself. He is king after all. The pawn is not considered a piece and has no letter to represent it. Placing the chessboard. The white square is always on your right side. Easy to remember, white and right rhyme. If the chessboard has coordinates on it, the white pieces are always set up on the number 1 side. Remember, the first president of the U.S., George Washington, had a white wig. The queen placement. The queen always goes on her own colored square. She has to be color coordinated. Duh! Coordinates. If I told you of a great hamburger place on the corner of Main and Elm Street, I bet you could find it. A chessboard is the same as every city. Each square has an address. Let's say you moved your bishop on c3 to square h8. You notated capital B h8, pronounced bishop h8. If there was an enemy piece on h8, you would add an x, capital B x h8, pronounced bishop takes h8. If a pawn makes a move, you only need to annotate the file and rank it goes to. Example, e4. If a pawn makes a capture, you only need to notate the file it came from, A, X, and the square it captured on. Example, C takes D4. A special case is en passant, which will be covered later. Black to move. Either of the black rooks on the 7th rank can move to square E7. Simply add the file which piece is to be moved from to clarify the rook to be moved. Example, rook B to E7. White to move. Either of the white knights can capture the black queen. Simply add the file they are on to clarify what piece is to be moved. Example, knight F takes D2. When a king is in check from a move, you add a plus sign after the notation. Example, capital B, C3 plus, pronounced bishop to C3 check. If a king has been checkmated by the last move, it is notated with a pound sign. Example, capital B, C3 pound, pronounced bishop C3 checkmate. If a king castles kingside, use the symbol 0-0, pronounced castles kingside. A memory aid is to see the 2 squares prior to castling between the king and the rook as zeros. If a king castles queenside, use the symbol 0-0-0, pronounced castles queenside. A memory aid is to see the 3 squares prior to castling between the king and the rook as zeros. En passant is notated with an E period, P period after the move. A lot of people have a hard time with this. An easy way to remember is to pretend the opponent's last move was their pawn just moving 1 square instead of 2. You add the whole square address it captures on to clarify the move. When a pawn promotes, you need to specify which piece it becomes by their symbol. Example, C8 equals Q, pronounced C8 queen. If white wins, place a 1-0 after the last move made. This includes if the opponent resigned. If black wins, place a 0-1 after the last move made. This includes if the opponent resigned. If the game is a draw or stalemated, place a half-half or 0.5-0.5 after the last move made. Thank you for joining us today at Chess Bets. This is Leah Lennox, over and out.